Fifth grade into math lesson 8.1. Explore groups of equal shares to show multiplication. I can find a fractional part of a group by using a visual model to solve a problem. Spark your learning. Aisha writes a children's story about quartets of cat musicians. In her story, 1/4 of the cats in 2 quartets play the cello. How many cats in 2 quartets play the cello? So they want us to draw a visual model to show how you can find the number of cats in 2 quartets that play the cello, and then they want us to justify our reasoning. Okay, so we have 1/4 of them, right? And how many cats? 2 cats in each one, right? Okay, so basically we know we need it into 4 parts, correct? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw 4 circles to show 4 parts, okay? But there are how many musicals? Or how many quartets? Sorry. Well, there's 2, right? There's 2 quartets. Okay, and then they want to know how many, and there's only 1/4 in each one, right? So we're gonna color. So here's like a 1/4 of a section. There's another 1/4 of a section and another 1/4 of a section, right? And then there's only 1 in each one colored in, right? Okay, so how many cats play the cello? How many did we color in the whole way, guys? So 2 cats. Okay, so we're just going to do a vocal explanation of why we did what we did, okay? So basically, we knew we had 1/4, so we knew we needed each quartet to be broken into how many pieces? 4, right? Okay, but then we knew there were how many quartets? 2, correct? So we had to do 2 representations, 1 for each, correct? And then we knew that there was only 1/4 of it played the cello, so we can only color in 1 of those 4 sections for each quartet, correct? Okay. Build understanding. After their concert, the cat quartet invites their friends to a party. Of the total number of cats shown, 1/6 of the cats have striped tails. How many cats have striped tails? Draw a visual model to show how you can find the number of cats that have striped tails. So basically, how many total cats do we have? 12, right? Okay, so since they say 6, we know that 6 is a multiple of 12, right? I mean, 12 is a multiple of 6, correct? Yes, so we can draw 6 circles. And how many layers do we need if we do 6? Do we need 1 more row? Yeah, so we need 1 more row to get 12. And then it says of those 6, how many do we color? 1, right? So we're going to color in 1. But then I also have another row of 6, so I color in 1 of it too, right? Because really 1/6 is equivalent to what? 2/12? Is that correct? Okay. So how many cats had striped tails? 2. So let's go down here real quick. So we know that 2 cats had straight tails. Now letter A, how is the unit fraction 1/6 represented in your visual? So we know that basically 1/6 is also equivalent to, what did we say? 2/12. So then that's how we knew to color in 2 of them, and then we used the 1 of the 6. How can you use your visual model to find the number of cats that have striped tails? So basically we counted the amount we colored in, right? Okay. So we counted the amount we colored in. 4 more cats join the party. Of the cats shown, 3/4 have solid colored tails. How many cats have solid colored tails? So they said that 4 more cats joined. So we had 12, and now we have how many? 16. But how many rows or columns are we going to have this time? 4. Only 4, right? So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have our 4 rows, right? Okay. Now, how many of those columns need to be colored in? So 4 was the number of rows for our denominator. How many columns need to be colored in using our numerator? 3, right? So we're going to color in 3 of our circles, or 3 columns, sorry. So how many equal sized groups did you draw? So we drew how many equal sized groups? How many rows did we draw? 4. 4 because that's the number in the what place? Denominator. Okay, so how many cats are represented in each group? So how many were in each row, guys? 4. Yeah, 4 cats were in each row. How many of these groups represent cats with solid colored tails? So how many? How many columns, guys? So 3 groups, right? Because 3 was in the numerator. Okay, numerator. How many cats have solid colored tails? So how many total did we color in? 12. So 12 cats. Okay, check understanding. At 9 o'clock, 5/8 of the 16 cats at a party go home. How many cats go home at 9 o'clock? Draw a visual model to explain. Okay, so once again, does our denominator match up to our total number? No, right? Okay, so 8 is not the same as 16, right? Okay, but we know that 8 goes into 16 how many times? 2 times. So that tells us we're going to need 2 rows, okay, guys? So if I take 16 divided by 2, what do I get? 8. So I'm going to have 8 in each row. So I'm going to draw 8 circles. I'm going to do 2 rows of them because I have to get 16, correct? Okay, now we're still using the numerator, and the numerator tells us how many columns to color in, right? So how many are in the numerator? 5. So we need to color in 5 columns, correct? Okay, so I have my 5 columns colored in because columns go this way, right, guys? And then the rows go this way. Okay, so I have my 5 columns colored in. So how many total circles do I have colored in? 10. So it'd be And what's my label? Cats. So on your own, number 2, reason. Walt has $21 bills. He uses 3/5 of his $1 bills to pay for a new winter hat. How much does Walt pay for his new winter hat? How do you know? Okay, so basically, how do we get from 5 to 20? So 5 times 4 equals 20, right? So we're going to use that 4, correct? Okay. Now we've kind of talked about the denominator and used it. Now what are we going to use? The numerator, right? So what am I going to do with that 4 and that 3? Multiply them, right? So 4 times 3 equals 12. So how much does Walt pay for his new winter coat or hat? $12. Use repeated reasoning. Seth buys a carton of eggs. Find the number of eggs in each fraction of the total. So 2/3. Do they have 3 rows? Yes. And then we would use 2 of those columns, right? Actually, we would need to break these into 3 sections. Sorry. Break them into 3 sections, and then you use 2 of those sections. So how many are in 2 sections? 6, right? Well, there's 6 in each section, so 6 times 2 is 12. So 12 eggs. Okay. Now I'm going to erase that. You guys can just use your pencils and change it, okay? Well, I guess technically I could have kept that, but that's okay. So this time they want 6 in each group. So could I go like this to make 6 in each group? Each group is going to have 6, okay? Okay, so they want 6 groups. So if I have how many total eggs here? I have 18, right? And if I want 6 groups, what's 18 divided by 6? 3. So in each group, we're going to have 3, right? For this next step. So how many of those groups do they want? 5. So 3 times 5 is, so 15 eggs. Okay, the next one, they want 9 groups. So what's 18 divided by 9? 2. So you're going to put 2 in each group. So if I do one of those groups, how many eggs do I have? 2 eggs, right? If I do 6 of those groups, how many eggs do I have? 12. So for number 4, they want 2/5 of 15. And so we took 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So that gave us 3 columns. And then we put 5 in each, or that gave us 3 rows, which gave, or then we put 5 circles in each row. And then it told us to color in 2 columns. So we did, and we got 6 total colored in pieces. On number 5, 5/6 of 12 is, we took 12 divided by 6. That told us to have 2 rows. And then we colored in 5 of the columns, and that got us a total of 10.